We will now begin reinforced concrete beam design. Go to Building Analysis, Pre-Analysis tab. Click Edit Materials. We will be using grade 500 steel for beam design. Click the rebar diameter of the beams. These are the master settings for rebar's diameters, to be used in the design. Click OK to exit. Click OK to exit the material dialog. Then click Close to exit the Building Analysis dialog. Go to Design tab, where various design functions are available. Design all. This is a very quick way to design the members. However, it doesn't show any useful information of individual beam pass and failure. Hence, it is not recommended if this is the first round of design. It is useful if you have already designed the members before, and due to amendments, you want a quick redesign or recheck. Cancel to exit. Click Story Beam Design. Maximize the dialog for a better view. The main beam design page lists all the beams designed according to its insertion axis. Beams that are modeling using the same longitudinal axis will automatically be designed as continuous if they are connected. Further, beams that are inserted sharing the same insertion axis will also be merged together as a single design axis. For example, B1, B2, B3, the curve beam, B20 and B21, are all automatically merged as a single design axis, A. The design status is now all red cross, indicating design is not performed yet. Further, the utilization ratio is 0. This means that all the beams have no prior design done. Before designing the beams, we should review the design settings. Go on Settings and Parameters. This will launch the Settings Center with Beam Design Settings expanded. We will only go through the important settings. You can read more details in the Prota Help Center website. Design shows the main design considerations. Ignorable forces are forces that the beam design does not check nor design, hence user can define their own limits. If actual design force is equal or less than the ignorable limits, the beam passes, else the beam fails. Parameters. Choose the minimum and maximum main, hanger, and link rebar sizes. Concrete cover settings. A value of 0 means default to code requirement. Steel bar properties. Contains minimum and maximum rebar spacing setting. Steel bar cut length affects lapping. Web steel are side or laser bars. There is an option to ignore code-based minimum clear bar spacing, which can be activated in situations where special admixture or superplasticizers is used. Link properties. Review minimum and maximum link spacing. Steel bar selection. Method. Steel bar area tolerance. -% tolerance values will yield greater steel areas than required. Positive value means you want to use less steel than required. Design. Reinforcement pattern. Default is pattern 2, which is usually used for cast-in C2 beams. The rest of settings on rebars are self-explanatory. Bent-up bars. These are only used when a bent-up bar pattern is selected. Links. Review the links design and selection settings, such as minimum support region width. Curtailment. Steel bars. Bottom span bars controls the position of lapping of bottom bars. Refer to the diagram below when changing options. Top support bar settings, similarly refer to the diagram below for illustration. Example, check extend support bars symmetrically. Steel bars to affect the end span curtailment of bars. Check and uncheck options, and see the difference in detailing in the diagram below. Bob control. BOB stands for bending of bars. The settings here controls the length and pattern of bending of bars. Detail drawings. All the settings in this group affect the general arrangement drawings and details generated in Prota Details. It does not affect the design of the beams at all. General tab. Affects all type of drawings. Beams. These settings only affects the beam elevation drawings. Sections. These settings control the sections cuts and presentation of the beam elevation drawings. Steel bar and links. These settings controls how rebars and links are drawn and annotated. Steel bars affects the side or laser bars detailing of the beam elevation drawings. Dimensions settings controls all dimension presentation of beam elevation drawings. Detailing. This are miscellaneous settings affecting the beam details, example how it is arranged and truncated, if inserted into sheets. Click Cancel to exit without any changes. To design all the beam at one go, choose Beam Design, Batch Mode. In the batch design, there are 3 options. Check Steel, select new steel when previous bars are insufficient. This option is only applicable if a previous design was done. This option will check if the existing reinforcement is sufficient and only increase the reinforcement at location where it is not sufficient. At location where is sufficient, even if over-designed, will be left unchanged. Check Steel, don't select steel when previous bars are insufficient. This option is only applicable if a previous design was done. This option will check if the existing reinforcement is sufficient and will not increase the reinforcement, even if it is insufficient. Failed beam axis will be marked accordingly with a red cross. Reselect all bars. This option will completely redesign all beams using the current beam design settings. This basically ignores all previous design. Since this is the first time designing beams, choose Reselect all bars. Click Calculate, and the batch design will start. When the design is completed, the message icon will appear. It is very important to display the message, as it contains vital information about pass and failure reason. If the design is successful, a default text listing the axes will be shown, and the design passes. If there are failures, the exact reasons will be stated, and the design status will be shown as fail. Close the message report. Close the beam batch design dialog. The design screen will be refreshed now to show the design status in the utilization ratio. The beams to be included in the report are marked by a tick in the print column. Only beams that are successfully designed can be marked for printing. Beams can be added or removed from the report by checking or unchecking the print check box. Click Remove Print Marks to remove all the print marking. Then mark only beam axis A for printing. Click Design Report. In the Reports dialog, there are further choices, which are self-explanatory. Click OK. The beam design report will be generated. Key design parameters, results and rebars will be included. All reports can be exported as PDF, Microsoft Word, image or web page, HTML format. Inspect the report. Close the report. All reports generated will automatically be saved and made available for compilation in Report Manager later. Summary table report. This creates the report on summary of pass and failure of the beam, exactly as you see in this dialog. Flange shear check. This report checks the flange beam shear. Bar list report. This report lists down all the design rebars of the beams. Beam capacity reports. This report calculates and shows the moment and shear capacity ratios. Utilization ratio table. This report produces details on utilization ratios calculated at each position of the beam. The largest utilization ratio is finally reported in the main summary dialog.